proceed, my name is Malik Haushan. I am the Officer of Innovation, Access, and Opportunity for Chelsea Public Schools. I am super honored and proud to be here with some of our wonderful students from Chelsea and around the greater Boston area. We're very excited to have you all here. We're doing some testing in the back, and we got some smart cookies. And I'll also say it's wonderful to have wonderful judges, fantastic audience. It's great to see parents here. It's wonderful to see students here. And it's really wonderful to see a lot of our Chelsea educators come in at night to see some of their students. So let me start with that and say thank you to you all. I'm going to read through some of the directions for the evening. I'll turn the mic over to Jennifer in a little bit. She'll introduce some of our guests and some of our guest speakers, and then we'll be off to the races. Before we get started, I've been asked to remind students that your personal devices, which we already talked about, cell phones, smartwatches, etc., are not allowed on stage. If you haven't already handed yours over, please raise your hand now, and we will collect it. It is MCAS week too. They should be in the habit of that as well. I'll sit. I'll continue. Today's competition will include 3 rounds. Thank you. In the first 2 rounds, finalists will answer civics-based quiz questions. Each finalist will answer the same multiple-choice questions within the allotted time. Each question and answer option will be read aloud. The 30-second timer will not start until after I have finished reading the question and answer options. Each correct answer will receive 1 point. Incorrect answers and answers not submitted before time runs out receive 0 points. That's important for you guys. Make sure you get an answer in before the time runs out, okay? Since you will not lose points for an incorrect response, I guess I was ahead of the directions, we encourage you to take your best guess and answer each question. Please note, once you have selected an answer, that is the final answer. You may not return to the answer options to change your response. So concentrate and make sure you're picking the right one. At the end of rounds 1 and 2, we will display the leaderboard up on the screen, and you will be able to see which students are in the lead. 5 finalists with the highest score at the end of round 2 will advance to round 3. If there's a tie for 5th place, I will announce a tiebreaker round of 3 questions. Only the students who are tied for 5th place will answer these questions. If you are not tied for 5th place, you will not answer the tiebreaker questions. At the end of the tiebreaker, I will announce the finalists who will advance to round 3. Students, during the quiz rounds, if you have technical issues or anything goes wrong at any time, please raise your hand right away so we can help you. Got it, guys? Okay. We know everyone here will participate with integrity. Students, please keep your eyes on your own tablets. During rounds 1 and 2, audience members can play along with the student finalists and increase your civic knowledge. Audience members, please enter the URL included in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Can you guys see one up there? Okay, perfect. Into your personal devices, and be sure to select Spectator in the Join settings of the Play Along. Before we get started, I'm going to introduce Jennifer to introduce a few guests.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to the first annual Chelsea Chamber of Commerce National Civics Bee. This really wouldn't have been possible without Fidel Montez. I received a phone call. He was contacted by the United States Chamber of Commerce to ask if Chelsea would be interested in participating in a Civics Bee competition. When I was reached out to, it was a little nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie, but I was excited for the opportunity to shine a light on Chelsea, and I think that we've accomplished that today. So let's give ourselves a round. This really wasn't an easy task. I think you've heard me mention this before. We are the only chamber in the state of Massachusetts that is successfully competing in this competition. That is a huge accomplishment for us. As 19 of the 20 students in front of you here today are students who reside in Chelsea and go to our public schools or charter schools. We do have a guest student here with us today, and she came all the way from New Bedford. The South Shore Chamber of Commerce attempted to participate. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them, and so we inherited their homeschool student, and we're really proud, and we're happy to have her here. So what I want to mention is something a little bit special. So because we were the only chamber to participate in the state of Massachusetts, and while we will determine 3 finalists here today, on May 20th, if you look at your program, the state competition is going to be held at the Edward N. Kennedy Institute for the United States Senate in Dorchester. That means 10 of our students, the top 3 and an additional 7 high-ranking students, will move on to the state competition. With that being said, one of those 10 students will then move on to the national competition in Washington, D.C. We have representation from the Brown Middle School, the Clark Avenue Middle School, the Eugene Wright Middle School, the Excel Academy, both in Chelsea and Greenway. We have 1 student that's homeschooled, and we have 1 student from St. Mary's School. I'd like to take a moment to introduce our judges, so if you could please stand and come to the front of the stage, please. I thought it was important to have representation from our community, and this is what the panel of judges represent. There were a total of 13 judges in this for this competition. I reached out to 13 individuals. These are the 5 live event judges, but we also have a few of the judges that were essay judges here with us as well. So I'm going to ask you to please stand, and that includes David Midland, Beth McDougall, we have Police Chief Keith Houghton, we have Tracy Nowicki, Erica Colombo, James Keegan, and Sharon Caulfield. This is a representation of our community. They're either currently residing in Chelsea, born and raised in Chelsea. So this is Chelsea. We are Chelsea. This is our village. So please, let's have a round of applause for everyone. Some of the essay judges, which I want to make sure that we also include that couldn't be here with us today, Erica Porzio, Roman Gold, Brian Kais, Roseanne Von Giovanni, Sergeant Stacy Wood, Alex Train, and again, David Middle. And with that being said, I also want to take a moment to just thank our MC, Malik Hauschman, and our guest speakers, Judith Garcia, State Representative, and Chelsea City Councilor Todd Taylor. I am going to go off script for just one quick second because our city manager did come in. So I just want again to thank Fidel because this really wouldn't have been possible without his intervention.
All right, students, so we have already reviewed all of the rules of the competition. Are you guys all excited?
I apologize. So we are going to start with one of our guest speakers, State Representative Judith Garcia. If you could please come up.
Congratulations. Good afternoon. How is everyone doing? Good afternoon. Wonderful. It is such a great honor to be here today. It's a big, big day. And boy, Chelsea, small but mighty. It is so incredible to see this event come together thanks to the support of the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce, many of the businesses who are here, the elected officials who are here. I want to acknowledge City Council Lisa Santigate, who is here with us. I also want to acknowledge City Councilor Todd Taylor, who I know will be the next speaker. And again, I'm so inspired by all the students that are here today, making that courageous decision of participating in this contest. I grew up in Chelsea. I was born and raised here. I attended Chelsea Public Schools, and I was equally as passionate about civic involvement and about shaping my community. So I am inspired by you. I am encouraged to see the next generation of leaders, not only in Chelsea, but in Bedford and across our greater Boston area, because this is where it all starts. I remember when I was your age, I was very passionate about reading the newspaper, getting involved, participating a lot in any activity that was being placed by a lot of the nonprofits in Chelsea, and putting a little bit of my love into this city. And then eventually, I grew up, I graduated from Chelsea High School, I went to college, I studied urban planning, came back to my community, and at the age of 22, I decided to run for city council. I was very young, but I was inspired, and I was determined to have more impact in my community. I served for 8 years with some of the colleagues who are here today, shaping our landscape and making the life of our residents a little bit better. Now I get to serve at the state level, and today I get to witness all of you participate and share your wisdom, your character, and hopefully I get to see some of the winners. So I'm so excited. Good luck to you all, and I wish you the best of luck. That being said, I actually want to take a moment to present a little award for all of you because of the symbolism of today. So I am actually going to ask Councillor Todd Taylor and City Manager Maltese, can you come up and present this award with me? So, if you, I will read, yes please, that would be so helpful. So today, on behalf of the state and our municipal leaders, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts recognizes the Chelsea Civics B Scholars for your dedication and hard work in making Chelsea's first Civics B a success. Congratulations.
Before we continue, I just wanted to take a moment to thank some of the sponsors. I know they're in the program book, but I do feel that it's important just to mention them. The tablets were donated by Global Partners, and so we just want to make sure we thank Global Partners. The trophies and the participation medals were provided by Metro Credit Union. We had a few in-kind donors that were kind enough to donate some treats for the participants to fill their bellies before the competition. So Bella Isla, Duncan on Everett Avenue, and the Brown John. Before we move on to anything further, I really want to take a moment to thank the Parks and Recreations Department from the City of Chelsea, in particular Charlie, Bianca, Alex. You guys are amazing. You guys made this possible. You guys found a space for us. You guys helped us set up. I think it's really important to acknowledge this is a community, this is a village, and it took a village to put this together. So Charlie, Bianca, Alex, thank you so much.
All right, let's get through this. That was a lot of talking, guys. I don't think to talk, but I know you guys want to get ready to play. On that note, again, up there at the top is the audience members who are playing along. You guys ready to rock? I believe you. I believe you. Yes, I believe you. All right, here we go. We're going to begin round one. First question. At what age are U.S. citizens eligible to vote in federal elections? A, 16 years. B, 18 years. C, 21 years. D, 25 years. The answer is C, 18 years. Next question, and I'm sure you're all able to hear, by the way, the timer. You can hear it ticking if you get it done? Okay, good, excellent. Okay. Question number 2. How long is the president's term? A, 4 years. B, 6 years. C, 8 years. And D, 12 years. The answer is A, 4 years. Next question. Question number 3. Which of the following is the best definition of government? A, people who make laws for a state. B, the ability of people to define their borders. C, the institution through which society makes and enforces laws. Or D, a person or group of people who decide foreign policy. And the answer is C, the institution through which society makes and enforces laws. Question number 4. According to the Dawes Act of 1887, how many acres of farming were granted to each head of a family? A, 160 acres. B, 25 acres. C, 50 acres. Or D, 640 acres. And the answer is A, 160 acres. I'm curious to hear what the audience score was on that. I'm sure you guys are all big fans of the Dawes Act. Big fans. Number 5. Which of the following was a significant limitation of the Articles of Confederation? A, it allowed for the direct election of a national president, undermining the authority of state governments. B, it established a strong central government with broad powers overpowering the states. C, it did not grant Congress the power to levy taxes, leading to financial instability and weak federal funding. Or D, it created a federal court system to resolve disputes bypassing state authority. And the answer is C. It did not grant Congress the power to levy taxes, leading to financial instability and weak federal funding. Question number 6. What event directly led to the implementation of the Coercive Acts of 1774, known by many colonists as the Intolerable Acts? A, the Boston Massacre. B, the Boston Tea Party. C, the French and Indian War. Or D, the Declaration of Independence. And the answer is the Boston Tea Party. Boston Tea Party. Celebrated the 250th anniversary last year of the Boston Tea Party. They did a celebration in Boston Harbor. Excellent event. Number 7. Which of the following scenarios best exemplifies the Republican principle of popular sovereignty? A, citizens electing a member of Congress to represent their interests in the national government. B, a court decision that overturns a law passed by Congress. C, a president issuing an executive order. Or D, a state legislature passing a law that restricts voting rights. The answer is A, citizens electing a member of Congress to represent their interest in the national government. That is often why our national government is actually called a democratic republic. I'm very much a history of government nerd, as you probably tell, so I'll try to save the lecture for UMass Lowell. Question number 8. How did Theodore Roosevelt's New Nationalism speech influence the progressive movement? A, it calls for limiting government intervention in business. B, it advocated for stronger government regulations of business and social reforms. C, it supported the return of laissez-faire economic policy. And D, it emphasized isolationist policies in the United States. The answer is B. New nationalism, speech influence of the progressive movement is advocating for stronger government regulation of business and social reforms, often considered to be ending the Gilded Age, as a matter of fact. Question number 9. Evaluate Tocqueville's view on the impact of equality in American society. According to Tocqueville, where does he see the effect of equality most strongly? A, in the way government leaders are elected without any limitations on their power. B, in the way that economic classes are rigid and unchanging across generations. C, in the widespread participation of ordinary citizens in various social and political activities. Or D, in the strict separation between government and religious institutions. And the answer is C, in the widespread participation of ordinary citizens in various social and political activities. We're moving on to question number 10. This is the last one of the first round. You're going to be able to breathe in a couple of seconds. Which of the following is an example of the principles of Article 4 of the Constitution being applied in a real-world situation? A Supreme Court decision declaring a state law unconstitutional. B, a state refusing to enforce federal mandates related to civil rights. C, a state recognizing the legal marriages of other states, even if the state itself does not allow such marriages. Or D, a president using executive orders to enforce state laws. And the final answer for round 1 is a state recognizing the legal marriages of other states, even if the state itself does not allow such marriages. That was answer number C. Let us see. That's the end of round 1. I think we're going to score coming up on the screen. Good job. Good job. You guys feel that nervous? Nervous? Ooh, it's tight. Ooh. You got one with a perfect score. Well done. This is good. You guys are ready for my history class. Pretty good. Pretty good. Don't get started talking about Lafayette. Right, city manager? Okay, that's what we do. You ready for round 2? All right, guys. You guys ready? Okay. Here we go. Question number 11. According to the founding principles, what is the most critical factor in sustaining the American experiment in self-government? A, the willingness of citizens to engage in public virtue and promote the common good. B, the reliance on the federal government to solve issues. C, the focus on centralized authority to manage national unity. Or D, a rigid separation of powers to prevent any government action. And the answer is A, the willingness of citizens to engage in public virtue and promote the common good. We go to the next question, question number 12. Why did the Supreme Court rule in favor of the students in Tinker versus Des Moines, 1969? Is it A, the court believed that students have no rights in school settings? B, the court decided that wearing armbands was disruptive to the learning environment. C, the court found that the students' protest was a form of free speech protected by First Amendment. Or D, the court determined that the school had the authority to ban any clothing that might offend others. The answer is C. The court found that the students' protest was a form of free speech protected by the First Amendment. Question number 13. Who was nominated as Associate Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court at age 51 and received unanimous approval from the U.S. Senate, breaking new ground for women? Is it A, Ruth Bader Ginsburg? B, Sonia Sotomayor? C, Ketanji Brown Jackson? Or D, Sandra Day O'Connor? And the answer is D, Sandra Day O'Connor. Out of a list of wonderful, intelligent, smart, powerful women, Sandra Day was the first one to be on the Supreme Court. Question number 14. During the Constitutional Convention, what were George Mason and Elbridge Gerry's beliefs regarding a Bill of Rights? They believed that a Bill of Rights would imply any rights not listed did not exist and therefore opposed adding one. They argued that the Constitution was already sufficient in its structure to prevent abuses of power without the need of a Bill of Rights. C, they feared that the absence of explicit protections for individual rights would lead to governmental overreach and tyranny. Or D, they believed that an even stronger executive was needed in order to protect and uphold a Bill of Rights. And the answer is C. They fear that the absence of explicit protections for individual rights would lead to governmental overreach and tyranny. Question number 15. Who was appointed by President Lyndon Baines Johnson to serve as the first black U.S. Solicitor General to argue on behalf of the federal government before the Supreme Court? A. Byron Rustin. B. Andrew Young. C. Julian Bond. D. Thurgood Marshall. The answer is Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall will also jump the bar to the other side of the court and become the first black Supreme Court justice in history. Question number 16. In what position was John Marshall serving when he was nominated to the Supreme Court? A. Vice President. B. Secretary of State. C. Speaker of the House. D. President pro tem. The answer is B. He was Secretary of State. Secretary of State. 17. Question number 17. What was the significance of the Pure Food and Drug Act in the context of the Progressive Era? A. It was a setback for the movement for social reform. B. It was a symbol of the failure of government regulation. C. It had no connection to the Progressive Era. Or D. It was a major step forward in protecting consumers. And the answer is D. It was a major step forward in protecting consumers. We all like to have healthy food, water, and medicine. 18. In his inaugural address, Kennedy stated, "Let every nation know that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, to assure the survival and success of liberty." What foreign policy approach does this reflect? A. Isolationism, which emphasized America's withdrawal from international conflicts. B. Containment, committing the United States to counter the spread of communism and support for defending democratic values worldwide. C. Interventionism, pledging to use force to support American interests in all situations. Or D. Neutrality, maintaining a balanced approach to global power struggles. And the answer is interventionism, pledging to use force to support American interests in all situations. That was not an easy one. Unless you're Charlie. Number 19. What did Abraham Lincoln mean in 1863 when he wrote, "We here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth." Is it A, the best way to honor the dead is for citizens to dedicate themselves to preserving the Union and its freedom? B, the best way to honor the dead is to stop fighting and let the South lead the Union? C, the best way to honor the dead is to compromise and let slavery continue to be a part of the Union? Or D, best way to honor the dead is to bury them and to erect monuments on their behalf? And the answer is A. The best way to honor the dead is for citizens to dedicate themselves to preserving the Union and its freedoms. This is the last one, guys. Question number 20. In what year did the First Continental Congress take place? Was it A, 1774, B, 1776, C, 1787, or D, 1793? The answer is 1774. So that is the end of our round 2. Scores are coming up. You guys can relax. Great job. So it looks like we have a 2-5. So we're going to announce the top 5. We have 5, so we don't have a tie. Finishing in first place, or tied for first place, I should say, with 17 is CG. Who's CG? Who's me? Can you guys raise your hands? CG? Oh, I can't see. I'm only looking at this. Can we get the student one? Charlie, I told you to get it right, Charlie. I called it. I'm disappointed that you got 3 wrong, Charlie. We gotta have a conversation with you tonight. Oh, okay. So all I have here is the XP. Okay, so I'm gonna come down here and read them off. I can't see that. I can only see Charlie rigged it. He wanted me to just say his name 3 times. That's why. I know you, Charlie. All right. So we do have a tie. Ooh, this is far more intriguing. So we have a tie for the first 5. We have Carlos C. Carlos, want to raise your hand? We've got Carlos. We have Phoebe D. Who's Phoebe D? There we go. Good job. Well done. We have Rania M. Rania. Mabruk, Rania. Mabruk, well done. And we have Gerson R. Who we have? There we go. Good job. And then the last of the 5, we'll move on to the 3rd round, is Valerie G. That's perfect. You have our 5.
Let's have another round of applause for all the competitors. So at this time, we're going to ask for any of the students that are not moving on to the next round we're going to go back to the green room. But before we do that, one of the things that we thought was super important, again, we had 53 students that submitted essays. These are the top 20 scoring students in the competition. And we felt it was important to make sure that we acknowledged all the students at the top 20 level. So we, each of you will receive, in addition to the tablets that you're taking home today, because you competed, and thanks to Global Partners. So we really do appreciate you guys being so brave and being on stage and competing. And for that, not only are you're being gifted a tablet to take home, we've also we'll be presenting you each with a medal as a souvenir for participating in the event. So once again, a round of applause for all the participants. This moment, there are a few people in the audience that I want to thank because this really wouldn't have been possible without the partners that we had at each of the schools. So Claire Flores, I believe you're here. You were instrumental, you were an amazing partner, we appreciate you so much. I believe we have representation here from the Brown and the Clark, the 2 gens. Where are we? Please stand. And we have anyone here from the Excel Academy. That's okay. We want to make sure we give a shout out to the Excel Academy. They were amazing partners. We have 4 of their students here. And then I'd just like to give...
We also have 2 of our building principals at the middle schools. We have Nate from the right.
Fantastic. Please rise. Please, if you just stand up really quick, please. This is what we mean when we say this is a village, because you're here on your time to support the students, and we can't thank you enough for that. I do want to give one last shout out. Homeschool mom. Please rise. And we appreciate having your daughter here as part of the competition.
Thank you for having us.
I'm going to ask the students, the top 5 students that we listed, to please stay on the stage. The remaining students, please collect your cell phones on the side, and Karuna will escort you to the green room.
So I have this, I do want to announce, because I'm sure you guys are, I don't know if it's up there, but I do want to announce who's winning in the audience. I'm sure that's the most intriguing. We got CG.
Charlie!
We have Erica. Who's Erica? Erica, well done. We have Vanessa Ariuta. Oh, there you go. Tony the Tiger. Who's Tony the Tiger? There we go, Tony. We got Dave W. Wow, this is front row. No joke over here. And we have Nicole. Who's Nicole? Nicole, oh, those are our top 6.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
While we get adjusted for the next round, I'm going to ask our next guest speaker to please come to the stage. So, Todd Taylor is our city councilor. And again, I'm really honored to have him here. I appreciate when I called upon him that he agreed to speak for us today. And without further ado, I'm going to give pass the mic on to Todd. Thank you so much.
Thanks. I want to say, first of all, how proud I am of all these young people. So thank you very much for all you young people for coming and participating today. It's amazing. How many of you adults out there got all those questions right? These are pretty hard questions for middle schoolers, huh? Well, I'll tell you, the reason why I'm even here in Massachusetts is because I came here for a PhD in history at one point in time, and so this is something after my own heart. I love American history, and civics is a very important thing. And one of the reasons why it's so important is because we need an informed electorate. People that pay attention to what's going on, pay attention and hold their elected officials accountable for what they do, the votes they take, and how responsive they are to the general public. And if people don't understand that, they don't understand how government works or what's even going on, we're going to go downhill real quick. So I just wanted to also give a shout out to all of our people in city government here that are here today, and we appreciate everybody. And this is a village, and it takes all kinds to make up that village. So I would just encourage the young people, stay attentive to what goes on. You're gonna grow up rather sooner than later, and pay attention to what's going on. I'm going to use a fancy word: public discourse. Discourse is a fancy word for a conversation. So this is what, and even if you believe differently from other people, it doesn't matter. Your voice still deserves to be heard. And in our kind of democratic republic, as Melanie pointed out, that is very important. So stay tuned into what's going on, and we expect pretty good things from you folks. I appreciate you all for being here, and congratulations for doing well. Thank you all for coming today. This is an important thing to support our kids, and I'm just very happy that Jen asked me to speak. Very honored, and I really think we do a great job in Chelsea. Thank you to all the teachers who teach our kids, and all the school officials and everybody that makes this system go. So without further ado, I'll just pass it on. Thank you for having me.
Very good, definitely good. Yeah, and I'll add on too. I think the most important thing, my editorial, I think the most important thing that we need are students who are civically educated, because we need a citizenry who are civically minded and responsible for their communities. Understanding what's going on is of vital importance. So I very much appreciate you all and look forward to having you over at the History and Government at CHS in a couple of years. All right, so I'm going to review. Is it my questions here? Let me wait till we get the full staff ready to rock as well. No, take your time. This is good. Taking care of the kids in the green room. Fancy.
So as we move on to the next round of the competition, this is where we have our live judges actually participate and ask a few questions. We are going to give you this microphone. As you are asked questions, I'm just going to ask for you to share the microphone up and down the panel, please.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm going to read through some of the rules here for round 3. Before we begin round 3, the remaining finalists will be given the note cards they brought as prep. I saw some of you pulling them up. I will ask the finalists and the judges if everyone is ready, and then I will call the finalists one at a time to approach the microphone. You guys want to? Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Perfect. So we're going to pass the microphone across the front panel. So I'll ask the finalists, I'll repeat this again. I'll ask the finalists and the judges if everyone is ready, and then I will call the finalists one at a time to grab the microphone and deliver their summary. I will call you in the order you placed at the end of round 1. Carolina, can you remind me of the order of the finalists, please? But I don't have it on my screen.
The last one is Father Richie.
Always ask me. So Valerie, you first. Let me get into Valerie. Each finalist will share a 3-sentence summary of their essay using the 4x6 note cards that they brought as prep. Each finalist will then receive questions from our live event judges, and we'll have 3 minutes to answer each question. The judges, the pressure's on judges. The judges will evaluate finalists based on how well they, 1, show an understanding of civic principles. 2, answer the judges' questions clearly and effectively. Take your time, guys. Use examples, evidence, and primary sources to support your answers. At the end of round 3, judges will add their scores to the finalist total from round 1 and 2 to calculate the cumulative score for each finalist. If a tiebreaker is needed, at the end of round 1, the judge will rank the 5 students in order majority rules. Very parliamentary of us. The finalists with the 3 highest cumulative scores will be named first, second, third place winners. Jen, can we just make sure those doors are shut? We don't want to have any distractions for the kids. Thank you. All finalists today will receive certificates, and the first, second, and third place winners will also receive trophies. Okay, are we ready? We'll begin with Valerie. Yes.
A summary of my essay would be how LGBTQ plus discrimination still exists in our community today. And even though we may not see it every day, it still exists and it's very important. Research reports show how the negative effects on LGBTQ people are very harmful through social, physical, and mental ways. Our community is meant to be inclusive, and when we turn the other way, it only harms us. So my recommendation to address this problem would be an LGBTQ plus discrimination community group funded by the government meant to further educate people on the effects of discrimination and how it harms our members.
Thank you, Valerie. Good job. I will now turn to one of the judges and one of the do we have questions from the judges? Okay, I just want to make sure. Are we going across, or we'll go one by one? Okay. So first judge over here, they're going to ask questions. Can you see the judges? Valerie, can you see the judges?
Hello? Hi, Valerie. All right, my question is, what types of data, research, evidence, and sources led you to the conclusion that this was an issue that needed extra support in being resolved?
Hold on 1 second. It's hard for us up here because the speaker is here. It was hard for you to hear? Yeah. It might be easier if you stand and just speak loudly to the students. It'll be easier for them to hear.
Hi, Valerie. What types of data, research, evidence, and sources led you to the conclusion that this was an issue that needs support in being resolved?
I looked through articles and websites, specifically governmental websites, like National Library of Medicine. Those showed statistical evidence of discrimination statistics on LGBTQ people and how they harm them, like through their mental health. And many people reported from specific articles, like interviews, and how they were most likely discriminated in the past 5 years or so.
That was it for Valerie. Thank you, Valerie. Good job. Appreciate it. Edson. You're up. Okay. You're going to give that summary of your essay. Feel free to start.
The problem that I identified in the community of Chelsea was that not enough people, specifically immigrants, were well enough educated about sanctuary cities and all that they had to offer. And I believe that this is a problem because sanctuary cities are really important, and since Chelsea is a sanctuary city, you can really see the diversity here in the people, and there are a lot more job opportunities and just less restrictions for immigration policies for immigrants that really allow them to thrive. And I believe that by working with the Chelsea Public School District, the superintendent, Dr. Abeda, but also the Chelsea Public Library and Noria Lista Jesus, that this problem can really be solved by just spreading awareness about sanctuary cities and really just making sure that everybody knows what Chelsea has to offer. And I think that this connects back to foundational principles and civic virtues, because the residents of Chelsea need to have the courage to really stand up for their rights, even as immigrants. And they also have to really take the initiative to be involved in voting. So that also connects back to republicanism and really voting for people and representatives who you believe just share common interests with you so that you can feel represented in your daily lives.
Okay, we'll now turn to the judges. We have the next set of questions for Hassan. Yep, number 2.
My question would be, do you have any current examples, possibly, without naming names, of what could have happened in the situation that you just talked about?
Do you have any examples
Examples,
without naming any names
that's why I'm not naming any names.
for the situation we were just talking about?
That's right.
For the situation we were just talking about.
So when you say the situation we just talked about, you mean sanctuary cities?
That's right.
Yeah, you're asking.
So I think an example that sanctuary cities are beneficial to the community is that when I was doing research, I found out that when the law enforcement is more focused, specifically in sanctuary cities, about making sure that the residents are safe, instead of being caught up in immigration policies, that there are more people being engaged in the economy, and that the economy overall in that community really tends to improve, and also just safety in general of that community also improves.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Can we grab the microphone? Yeah. Next up, we have Reina. You're going to give us a summation of your essay, or you're going to give us some questions? Quite nice and confident.
Hello.
Here you go.
A summary of my essay was, as a student, I saw students weren't involved with their communities. I saw students not ready to be in school, not ready to be around their community, and I thought that students should be more involved, like the Civics be. Students should be more involved in learning about these issues and having an ability to learn about these issues. I feel like teachers and students aren't really taught about this stuff. So I wanted, as a student, to help improve that with having clubs and places where students can talk and understand themselves and have a sense of community.
Thank you. And then the next, we'll have the...
Good evening.
We have the questions coming.
We have one question. Thank you, and congratulations for getting this far. My question is, what did you learn about yourself while writing your essay?
What I learned about myself was I'm more of a reserved person. I'm very shy. I learned that my voice matters in a way. I saw like a sense in me, like feeling connected to my essay a little, because I'm not a person who understands all this stuff and learns about this stuff, and this competition gave me the ability to have a sense of like, understanding of what the world I live in is like.
Good job. Thank you. Next up, we have Phoebe.
A summary of my essay is that the problem I saw in my community is that the elderly are lonely, and that will lead to depressive symptoms. And there was a recent study that said about 30% of the residents in nursing homes have symptoms of depression. My solution would be creating a nonprofit organization named Friends for Life, where one committed volunteer would interact and converse with one elderly resident for the rest of their life, which is on average 1 year after being admitted to the nursing home. As mentioned in one of the Wisconsin longitudinal studies, if older people have a stable and constant friend, their depressive symptoms will subside. And my solution includes the civic virtue respect, which is treating each person as a dignified human being. And also, it includes the founding principle of equality, which means that everyone, no matter their background or who they are, they deserve the same treatment.
Good job. Okay. Now we're going to have questions from our judges group.
Hi, Phoebe. I'm Tracy. Thank you for being here. Great job on the essay. So my question to you is, what inspired you to choose this topic and write about it?
That's actually like what I was expecting from you. So I have a service club in my school that I'm in, and one service trip that we went on was to a nursing home, and me and my friend, we were playing a balloon toss with this old man who was in the corner all alone, and we kind of like had a really nice conversation with him and everything. But then we like abruptly had to left, and it was really sad, and he was crying when we told him, and we wish we could have You're welcome.
And then last, we have Carlos C.
The issue I wrote about was that, that frequently a lot of students don't have like the same access to education as many others. I found the Department of Education releases yearly MCAS results for each district, and 94% of 7th graders failed the math MCAS or partially meet expectations. The solution to this is to implement a state-aligned curriculum that aligns better with the standards that the department sets up to ensure that it's consistent and make sure that teachers have the resources available to meet students. It shows the civic virtue of responsibility as we need to be responsible in order to it shows the founding principle of advocacy, because we need to advocate, because obviously voices are more important than one, and as a community we can work towards the goal and make sure that everyone has an equal access to success.
Thank you, Carlos. We'll have our last judge ask Carlos the final question of the event.
Good evening, Carlos. Can you hear me okay on the microphone? Okay. Good evening and congratulations again on making this the top 5. So my question to you is, which local organizations could be helpful to you and why?
So the Department of Education, they make the standards, and obviously we can ensure that the curriculum that is given to students aligns with those standards better than is currently being given. We can also work with directly curriculum organizations in order to prove that, or in order to make sure that they're prepared for more standardized tests like the MCAS, for example.
Awesome. Thank you, Carlos. Let's give a round of applause, all of them. So that completes round 3. We're going to take a couple minutes break. We'll let the judges tabulate their scores.
Fidel Maltez, would you like to say a few words while we tabulate the scores, please? Thank you.
I was wondering if you weren't going to be too shy to come up here and say it at the Civics.
I just want to take a second to say very, very well done. Very, 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 I know this is amazing, and I really appreciate you guys kind of pushing through it, and again, very, very well done.
I am so impressed by each one of you, right? Your bravery, your presence, your knowledge, right? You are Chelsea. Each one of you is Chelsea, and I'm so excited that you're going to go and represent us, right, at a national level. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to cheer you on, and I know that Chelsea's going to win this year. I know that. Because we are a city of fighters, right? We are a city that welcomes all, and all of the themes are so important to every one of us. But each one of you is a winner, and I'm seeing each of your faces, and I'm so proud of everything you did tonight. Thank you.
I'd like to say the kids were great, the audience was great, and the theme of the event is so appropriate for what we've been celebrating in Chelsea, with it being the 400-year anniversary last year, this year being the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, Rev 250. We have a Battle of Chelsea Creek taking place on Memorial Day. Please come out. So we're going to have And then next year is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. So Civics B, during this time of civics education and civics necessity, is highly appropriate. So I just want to make sure that I mention that, and also throw a plug for the Battle of Chelsea. It's going to be all weekend. It's a great event. Bring the kids. And I think, Charlie, are we on the 14th of May? 13th of May, we're also going to be hosting an event over at the Williams. It's going to be a kids event. We will be having a petting zoo for animals that were colonial animals, so come see the goats. We will have horse riding. We're closing off Walnut Street, right, for the day, so we'll have horse rides for the kids. And we will have a militia reenactment as well. So it'll be Tuesday the 13th over at the Williams. We're doing it from 3 to 5. So we set it up so that the kids finish school and they can go right out into the courtyard, play some hoops, and pet some goats. No better way to spend your afternoon than that. I mean, there's a handful of us that can fill this quiet time thing. We can keep this going. We can, you know. You want to say something? Thank you.
You can always count on Alan.
Honestly, it's easy when you have such wonderful kids. That we do what we do for the kids, and that's what we do in Chelsea Public Schools.
I am going to take a minute. Please save the date, May 20th. That's the state competition. 10 of our students are going to move on to the state competition. And that's going to be in your program. It's May 20th, the Edward Kennedy Center, State Senate Center, Institute in Dorchester. 10 of our kids are going to state, and one of them are going to go to nationals. This is something so huge and something to be proud of. So I'm hoping that we'll be out to celebrate and really just, show the kids what it's about and the support that we have to offer them. Government is really important, and that's why I thought this was a great event to support. Get the youth involved early and understand that it makes a difference.
I do want to mention too, Reina, Moroccan Reina? Yeah, I'm Lebanese, so we're able to link. She was fasting during this entire time, so she's having her fasting break. Little iftar water for her as well. 5 more minutes? Okay. Ooh, it must be close. No, don't give me a mic. I'll start. If the karaoke machine comes out, it's not good. How many parents do we have? I don't need this. How many parents do we have left? How are you feeling? Like, super proud? ¿Tenemos papás? ¿Cómo te sentimos bien? Bien orgullosos, ¿no? Sí, pues muy bien. Muy bien. Who else do we have? Who else do we have parents here? So a couple of, with the hands over here for parents? Parents? Aaron? ¿Orgullosa? Claro que sí. Nervioso, claro que sí también. También los nenes. This was great. How are you guys feeling? Yeah. So this is where I'll turn into like my own teacher stuff. I was really excited to hear how thoughtful you guys were about the importance of civics. So let me ask you this. As you go through school, how do we help you guys, support you guys? I'm one of the people that work for all the schools, right? How do we support you guys in finding a platform for you to lead in your schools? Because what was very obvious tonight is that we have school leaders who care about their community, who care about their schools. How many of you guys want to be leaders within your schools? Look at there. No? You showed it up here, though. You showed it up here. What grade are you in? 7th grade? 8th grade? 8th grade? 8th? 7th grade? We got upperclassmen. You guys ready for the high school? 8th grade, ready for the high school? Ooh, it's exciting. It's a different world high school. No? You gotta get only 11 years to get ready for it, so that's okay. What's your favorite subject to study? It has to be history. If it's not history, if one of these guys say math, I'm going to be like, this is the best. Favorite subject study? Social studies, great answer. Math? Math makes money. Historians talk. Math, people who live math make money. Good subject. Social studies, good answer. Social studies? Science? Excellent answer. We got any questions from the audience for the kids? Shout them out. If we have any questions from the audience for the students. No?
I actually want to take an opportunity to thank some of the tables in the back of the room. So we have with us representation from SCORE. The Chelsea Chamber of Commerce collaborates with SCORE. They are retired mentors that help aspiring entrepreneurs start a business, learn about business. So we're really happy to have SCORE with us here today. We also have the Massachusetts League of Women Voters. Thank you so much for being with us. We have the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce table. On that table, we have a bunch of flyers with events that we have coming up. One that I'm really proud about is a picture with the Easter Bunny on April 16th. We invite you to bring anyone 7 and under, and we also welcome puppies. We'll have treats for puppies as well. And anyone from the age of 7 and under can take a picture with the Easter Bunny and have a bag treat. The reason we're doing events like this is to have individuals come out and frequent the businesses on Broadway. As you know, we're going through construction right now, and these are some difficult times. So any opportunity that you have to go to Broadway, anywhere in Chelsea, and just support a local business, we really would appreciate it, and so would the business owner. So if you have an opportunity, take a picture of a couple of the flyers that we have on our table. Those are the upcoming events that we have coming up. And last but not least, we have DECA with us. DECA is a special organization. They reached out to us. And it is currently at Northeast Vocational School. We're hoping to bring that over to Chelsea. But these are young adults that are learning about business, that speak about business, that go out and compete. And so these young ladies went out and they competed, and they actually were one of the few minorities in the competition that took place. And they're really hard workers, and they presented to Rotary, they presented to a couple of organizations in the community. Let's try to find out more about DECA, and let's make sure that we support any kids that are involved in the DECA program. So thank you to all the tables in the back of the room. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and the ladies of DECA, they're definitely going to be fantastic business women, because I run it. They found me a couple of times and they're like, hey, you should really get DECA at Chelsea High School. So they nodded their heads. I remember you guys. All right, I'm going to ask a history question. Since you guys were studying all this history, who's your favorite? I'm going to go down the line. Who's your favorite president? Out of all the presidents you studied, who's your favorite president? Abraham Lincoln. Can't go wrong with old age. Yes. Why? You can't name one? Coming back to you. Take it. Next one. Obama. Washington. Obama. You want to try it? Polk. Everybody loves Polk. Right? Oh, Obama? Okay, Obama. All right. Before they come out, what's your favorite amendment in the Bill of Rights? First Amendment. First Amendment. First Amendment. Third Amendment. That's a good one. That's a great one. I always had an affinity for the Fourth Amendment. You gotta love search and seizures. All right. So you want to? I'm going to give this to you. Okay. You're going to go third place first.
Sure.
Okay. We want to ask our guest speakers to come up and.
Absolutely. Come on up, guys. You know?
announce them over here so we can see everybody. In third place, with a score of 101 points, Ersan.
Third place is a $500 reward along with the third place prize.
$500. And I have second. Sorry.
Did anyone want to take any photos? I just want to make sure they have.
You want to actually move in front of the screen?
Official photo.
There we go.
Hey, Jennifer, I'd like to take a photo.
Of course, Sharon, come on.
In, you ready? In second place with 110 points, Phoebe. With 112 points, Carlos C. You've got the handsome suit jacket to match. Perfect. Perfect. Carlos, $1,000?
Yes.
$1,000. Picture that will last a lifetime, as a matter of fact. Make sure we get that one for all of our winners and all of our wonderful students.
I'd like to take the opportunity to have our place winners come up front, but I'd also like to acknowledge Rania and Valerie, because Rania and Valerie will be one of the 10 students moving on to the state competition. So Valerie, please come forward. Rania, please come forward. And I'm going to ask for the prize winners to come forward, along with the, we should have 5 additional students. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to ask the prize winners to come forward, and Rania and Valerie, please come forward. Okay. I'm going to ask Melissa V, Miguel F, Andrea P, Walter F, and Jada E. Please come forward. And move forward. Just come down so we can get. Come down. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you the 10 finalists moving on to the state competition. I'd also like to take the opportunity, if I have the additional students, please come forward. Come this way, please. I just think it's important for us to acknowledge every single one of these students yet again. The Chamber of Commerce will be sharing the essays. I think it's important to have an opportunity to read what our youth and what our future is going to look like and where their mind is at. It's important to cultivate these minds. It's important to support these minds. This is our future, guys. This is Chelsea, and I'm really proud. So thank you to everyone who had the opportunity to help us integrate this. Our esteemed judges, the audience, the parents, Parks and Recreation, our chamber, and our community partners. CCTV, thank you very much for being here to record this. I hope I'm not leaving anyone out. Super proud of this moment, and I just can't thank everyone enough. I think I'm going to get emotional. So.
Everybody.